Hi, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about what geology is. I'm going to be giving a little background and history lesson about the birth of geology, and then I'll kind of give a basic definition about it and of the different aspects that geology includes. And I'm also going to explain how and why it's so important in society today, even if we don't always realize it. Um, so first off, when I was researching all about geology, I kept seeing a recurring theme, and that theme, in the most basic terms, is that geology is a study of the Earth's history that helps us to understand the present and predict our future. So the science of geology was created originally by James Hutton, a Scottish doctor turned farmer who became interested in all things earth and science, basically. Pre-Hutton, there were theories that said everything on Earth looked the way it did and was placed where it was because of rising and falling sea levels, but Hutton hypothesized that over long periods of time, very long periods of time, with the heat that the Earth made, whatever, pushed new rocks up. And after Hutton spoke and wrote about his theory, interest in geology grew, and then in 1807, the Geological Society was formed, which was basically just a group of men who met for dinner to mull over their theories about how they thought that the Earth was formed. And from that time that the group was formed, people became more and more interested in the science of geology and have continued to debate over and prove and disprove theories for decades. So that was a brief history of geology, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what geology is. So according to geology.com, geology is the study of the earth, the materials that it's made of, and structure of those materials, and the processes that act on them. It also includes how those materials, structures, and processes have changed through the course of history. Some of the processes include volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, landslides, the formation of mountains, trenches, and valleys, and etc., etc. Um, a major question that geologists always seek to answer is how did this fossil or this rock or this mountain get here? If they're able to figure out how the thing got where it was or where it is, then they can infer where it might go in the future. So I'm going to back up for a minute and just be a little bit honest. The first thing that came to my mind before I started really studying geology, when I thought of the word geology, was rocks. But that's not all that geology is about. Geologists also study the various metals on Earth, water, oil, and natural gas, and are able to figure out what the best places to find all those materials are. And so that's really important to society. And it also encompasses the study of all things, or all of Earth's creatures, and from the beginning of time to today. And by studying rocks and fossils and the different layers, geologists are able to learn about organisms and why they might not have survived to perhaps let us survive in the future. Geology is important for society because, as I said before, it's used to figure out the history of the Earth in order to better predict what might happen in the future. And a major example of this is how scientists are able to make fairly accurate predictions of where and when earthquakes might happen because of the discovery or like theory of plate tectonics. Um, Disasters like earthquakes, volcanoes, and landslides can be very dangerous and destructive to society. So being able to predict when they could happen gives people the chance to be warned and to be prepared. So, for example, knowing where the boundary of two plates lies would prevent engineers from building homes and large structures in that area because the disasters are very possible in the future. And so one way that geology has been especially important today is with the continuing fear of climate change. There have been countless debates about the subject, but facts remain true. And in my opinion, the only way to deal with the situation is to be prepared for whatever results may be. Um, by studying the weather of the past and how it changed and shaped the Earth today, the Earth we see around us, geologists can foretell what the outcomes of climate change could be and prepare us for the future. So, in conclusion, geology is the study of all things Earth, pretty much. The goal is to figure out um, what the Earth is currently like, or currently and in the past, what it's like, and what processes made it that way, and what it might look like in the future, which is very important for the survival of humanity. Thanks for watching.